There's a lot to sing about at Wesley Village, a unique community that seems to be celebrating every day. The retirement village in Wilmore, Kentucky is marking its 20th anniversary, but that's just the latest in a long line of milestones. In the early 1990s, this place was just a field of dreams, but leaders with the United Methodist Church and nearby Asbury Seminary had the faith that moves mountains, or in this case, mounds of dirt. Alan Boisher has been in charge of community relations from the beginning and remembers how excited people were at the first public meeting confirming the project had gotten the green light.
They truly treated me like a celebrity that day. I would have paid money to have been treated like I was the first day that we announced Wesley Village would be built here in Wilmore.
So what exactly is Wesley Village? It started as a group of patio homes where seniors live with independence and without worry. A place where they still keep their cars, their pets, and their gardens. 2 years later, leaders broke ground for Hahn Manor, where seniors with a few more needs can live in private residential-style apartments, but have licensed healthcare professionals on site and assistance with things such as housekeeping, meals, and medications. The vision was to make this a place residents would never have to leave, no matter how their needs changed. So the next logical step was to build apartments for nursing home care, but the state of Kentucky did not allow for this kind of campus, what's known as a CCRC, Continuing Care Retirement Community, with all levels of service. Leaders saw it as a must.
What's sad is when couples are separated and one has to go away, and particularly if one is not able to drive and make the trip to go see them, then they lose a lot of their life together.
We have a nice setting and we enjoy that, but it was so important to know that we have a continuum of care, that if our bodies are not always going to be strong or well, and when those things begin to happen, then we can move to another level of care and then to a further level of care.
So in 2000, 2 busloads of Wesley Village residents made the trip to the state capitol to lobby lawmakers to approve CCRCs in Kentucky. A well-known resident got their attention with his thoughtful testimony on the benefits of aging in place.
But it was his wife who won the day for us, Mrs. A.D. Albright. She knew the chair of the committee personally, and she was the last one to speak. And she looked the chair in the eye and she said, "I promised my husband till death do us part, and don't you be the one to make me break that promise."
Lawmakers got the message and made Wesley Village the state's first CCRC. In 2004, another groundbreaking as leaders announced plans for a community center on campus, a place where residents could gather to share meals, attend classes, get exercise, worship, and enjoy all kinds of entertainment. The center was built with a combination of private and public funds and is used not just by the residents, but by the citizens of Wilmore.
It's a place for people to come back to Wilmore. So we have doctors, college presidents, farmers, residents that come back and get to live out their last chapters of their wonderful lives here in Wilmore.
The next step, and another first for Kentucky, was to build what's known as a small home for memory care. Here in Holloway Cottage, people with Alzheimer's disease or other forms of dementia can live in a home fully licensed for health care, with 10 private bedrooms surrounding a living room, dining room, and kitchen. Again, giving the residents a sense they're at home.
And I believe the governor called us a revolution in healthcare in the way we provide healthcare at Wesley Village. We're very, very proud of that because the person comes first, and it's not about our schedule and what time you should take your bath and what time you should do anything. It's about what time you want to do those things and what your biorhythms are.
CEO Glenda Creech believes long-term memory care will be the biggest healthcare need in the coming decades. So fundraising is in progress for more land and more small homes. And all along, the village just kept growing. More patio homes came along, and just recently, the Encore Center, another addition to campus with spacious private apartments, plus a cafe, theater, an indoor saltwater exercise pool surrounded by a unique shock-absorbing deck.
When you're singing or performing and the people clap really loud because you've done a great job, then you come back out and sing an encore. And we feel the group that we serve, the greatest generation, certainly deserve the encore, And so that's why we built this Encore Center, so they can live it out here at Wesley Village.
The village has become a role model for similar developments across the state and around the nation. Board members, staff, and residents all agree the number one reason the village is so strong is its Christian foundation.
That's always been something very special for me, that to hear folks say, as soon as I drove into the property and walked into the community center, I knew there was something different about Wesley Village.
Just yesterday, I was walking with a lady who had, her husband is in the hospital in Lexington. We were walking down the walk, and another resident came up to her and said, "Oh, I was praying for you just now," as she was coming this way. And so that was just such a blessing for the lady I was walking with, to know that people were praying for her and her husband, and they loved them and cared for them. Very unique and special.
We had a resident who moved in the early years of Wesley Village, and she just cherished living at the village. She loved the staff that took care of her. She loved her neighbors who would come and visit. And she often declared the village was a beacon of light on a hill. It just shines, shines, shines. My prayer is that the village will continue to shine brightly for generations to come.
So happy 20th anniversary to Wesley Village. 2 decades of growth, service, and ministry, and it appears they've only just begun.